Quizzy Wizzy, a channel for curious kids and adults. Today we'll learn what each part of the body is for. What do you have two of, but the elephant has one huge one? Eyes, ears, legs, hands. Eyes, for seeing. Eyes help us watch cartoons, look at picture books, and spot the last cookie on the shelf. Ears, for listening. With ears we hear music, whispers, and even when mom calls us for dinner. But an elephant's ears are huge, like giant fans. Legs, for walking. Legs let us run, jump, and swing. Hands, for holding. We use our hands to draw, play, and eat ice cream. Correct answer, ears. It would be funny if we had ears like an elephant, and the elephant had ears like a human. Did you know an elephant's ears are so big, you could hide under them like an umbrella when it rains? Scientists say elephants use them as built-in air conditioners to stay cool. And you know what I thought? If I had ears like that, I'd flap them like propellers and chase mosquitoes away. Just imagine if humans had giant ears like elephants. The teacher says, take out your notebooks, and oops, one flap and my notebook flies to my neighbor's desk. Or in summer, no fan needed, just a quick flap and you've got a breeze. And those ears help elephants hear things from far away. Which part of the body works even when you sleep? Heart, nose, eyes, brain. Heart beats non-stop. The heart works day and night. Even when we're asleep, it never takes a break. Nose smells and breathes. The nose helps us breathe during sleep. Sometimes it snores so loudly that neighbors think a tractor moved in. Eyes, closed but moving. When we dream, our eyes move under the eyelids. It looks like they're dancing in secret. Brain keeps thinking. The brain sorts everything we did during the day and invents dreams. Correct answer, heart. It's a good thing the heart doesn't stop to take a rest. Your heart works like an eternal alarm clock, no batteries or chargers needed. Imagine if you had to plug your heart into the socket every night. Oops, Mom, I forgot to charge my heart, I won't have energy to run tomorrow. At night, the heart beats slower, but it never stops. Even if you dream of running away from a giant carrot or dancing with dinosaurs, the heart keeps on working. Scientists say the human heart can make over 2 billion beats in a lifetime. That's one long marathon. And when you see someone you like, your heart beats faster. It's like it's shouting, hey, I like this person, let's drum louder. Which part of the body can you scratch, but it's ticklish? Belly, feet, palms, neck. Belly, soft and funny. When tickled, even the most serious person laughs like a little kid. Feet, the most ticklish. If someone touches your feet, it's almost impossible not to laugh. Palms, ticklish too. Even a light touch can make them twitch as if they had their own brain. Neck, very sensitive. Tickling the neck can cause such loud laughter that neighbors may think you're watching a comedy. Correct answer, feet. Are you afraid of being tickled? Feet are the champions of tickling. They have thousands of nerve endings, so even a little feather or a passing cat can make you laugh. Do you know why you can't tickle yourself? Because your brain already knows your moves. It's like a strict guard saying, hey, I saw that coming. No giggles for you. Some people are so afraid of tickling on their feet that they never let anyone touch them. Imagine if teachers used tickling feet instead of punishments at school, nobody would ever be late again. Scientists even found out that laughter from tickling isn't just a body reaction but also a way of communication. It's like saying, "I trust you if I let you tickle me." Funny, right? And just imagine if tickling turned on automatically every time you put on socks. Every morning, kids would laugh all the way to school. Which part of the body is the fastest? It always runs away first from cold water. Legs, hands, head, fingers. Legs instantly escape when they feel cold. They jump and spin around like little penguins, trying to get away. Hands react and try to run too. If the water is icy, they wave and flail like tiny flags. Head cautiously evaluates the situation. It thinks first, then decides, "Nope, not going there." Fingers feel the cold before anything else. They send an instant warning to the brain, "Quick, escape, the water is freezing." Correct answer, legs. Do you like to play and run? Our legs are true champions at escaping cold water. Step into a puddle, and the penguin dance begins, hopping, spinning, and shouting, "Ah, cold." Sometimes it seems like legs have their own mind. The brain hasn't realized it yet, but the legs are already gone. Feet are full of nerve endings, so icy water triggers a super fast alarm. Mini emergency alert, run. Imagine a school class called "Running Away from Cold Water." Everyone would get an A. And if legs could talk, they'd say, "Don't even think about dragging us into that icy water, we know the way home." Which part of the body can draw, write, and even tickle? Hands, fingers, elbows, legs. Hands can hold things, help, and wave. They do a lot of useful work, but not as precisely as fingers when you want to draw or write. Fingers, the most skilled and agile. They let us draw, type on a keyboard, and even tickle friends. Elbows, flexible and strong. They help bend the arms, but rarely take part in drawing. Legs, big and strong. You can jump, run, and stomp with them, but writing or drawing with legs would be tricky. Correct answer, fingers. What do you like to do more, draw, tickle, or write? Fingers are little pranksters. Sometimes it feels like they have their own life. While you try to write neatly, they play with the pen, dance on the keyboard, and create mini masterpieces. When you mold clay or paint, fingers can tangle together like they're playing hopscotch. Tickling friends with your fingers is a guaranteed laughter hack. They always find the funniest spots. Fingers love competitions too. Sometimes they race to see who can write a letter fastest or draw a star. Which part of the body helps you speak, but sometimes chatters too much? Lips, tongue, nose, ears. Lips move and smile. They help us pronounce words, show emotions, and express our mood. Tongue, master of words and taste. It allows us to speak, taste food, joke with friends, and make silly sounds. Nose smells and wrinkles the face. It helps us detect aromas, warns of strange smells, and adds expression to our face. Ears listen, listen, listen. Correct answer, tongue. It's with our tongue that we can taste all kinds of flavors. The tongue is a real trickster. It helps us talk, but sometimes chatters too much, making funny words or silly sounds. Imagine if your tongue could whisper secrets, it would tell all your friends while your lips pretend to be quiet. When you taste a lemon or mint, the tongue makes funny faces like a tiny comedian on stage. It can also dance in your mouth when chewing gum, a little circus performer. Sometimes the tongue and teeth team up to say tricky words, resulting in comical slip-ups. You can make friends laugh when your tongue accidentally sticks out during conversation. Imagine if the tongue could write or draw inside your mouth. It would be a tiny artistic masterclass. What do you have 10 of, but an octopus has 80? Fingers, legs, paws, tentacles. Fingers, small and agile. They help hold things, write, draw, and tickle friends. Legs, strong and long. They help us run, jump, and dance, but they're not as nimble as fingers. Paws, soft and furry, for animals. Animals use them to run and grab toys, but humans don't have them. Tentacles, flexible and long, like an octopus. An octopus has 80 of them. They can grab, touch, and do multiple tasks at once, real underwater superheroes. Correct answer, tentacles. Tentacles are great, but our fingers are much better. Imagine having 80 tentacles like an octopus. I could write a letter, draw a picture, hold a juice cup, and tickle my cat, all at the same time. Fingers sometimes get jealous of tentacles because they have more freedom and can move in every direction. But our fingers are perfect for games, gadgets, and tiny crafts. Octopus tentacles can multitask like pros. Humans sometimes try to imitate tentacles when doing tricky moves with a ball or rubber band. Which part of the body runs, even though it has no legs? Time, hand, nose, heart. Time flies fast. Even though it's not a body part, we often say time runs. It never stops and always reminds us to hurry. Hand waves and helps. Hands can move and grab things, but they cannot run by themselves. Nose smells the scents. The nose doesn't run, but it helps catch aromas along the way. Heart beats fast. The heart runs when we're excited or playing tag. It works even at night while we sleep and never stops. Correct answer, heart. It's the heart that pumps all the blood through our body. The heart is a true athlete. It runs without legs, and sometimes it beats so fast it feels like it wants to outrun you when you rush to breakfast. When I get nervous or excited, my heart jumps as if it's participating in a marathon inside my chest. Imagine if it could speak, "Hey, hurry up, don't be late." The heart even plays with emotions. It speeds up with fear, dances a little with joy. Sometimes it beats so rhythmically it seems like a tiny drum orchestra inside. And imagine if the heart were visible, you could see it bouncing back and forth and smile at your little internal athlete. What always looks at you in the mirror? Eyes, hair, nose, mouth. Eyes, watch and see. They help notice everything around, recognize friends, and see colors. Eyes can look serious, surprised, or playful, like tiny actors on your face. Hair, beautiful or messy. Hair shows style but doesn't see anything. Nose, smells things. The nose helps detect aromas and wrinkles the face, but it can't see its reflection. Mouth, smiles and talks. The mouth can laugh, talk, and show emotions, but it doesn't see its reflection. It becomes an actor only with the eyes. Correct answer, eyes. Eyes are the mirrors of your soul. You can see any of your moods in them. Eyes are real superheroes. They see almost everything around, even when you think no one's watching. Sometimes it feels like they wink at themselves in the mirror. When I blink, they take a tiny pause, like winking at my reflection. Eyes also love to watch friends' funny expressions. It's like a free comedy show. Imagine if eyes could talk. They would comment on everything you see and sometimes add their own jokes into your thoughts. And imagine if eyes could jump out of the mirror at you. You'd need superhero defenses from curious eyes. What do you have inside your head, but you've never seen? Heart, lungs, eyes, brain. Heart beats and pumps blood. It works even while you sleep, but you can't see it without special tools. Lungs breathe quietly and unnoticed. Every inhale and exhale passes through them, yet they remain hidden inside. Eyes see everything around, but not inside. You can look outside, but never peek inside to see the eyes themselves. Brain controls the whole body, hiding inside. It thinks, plans, comes up with jokes, but never shows its face. Correct answer, brain. The brain is the most unexplored part of our body, but also the most interesting. The brain is like a secret headquarters inside your head. It whispers ideas, makes you laugh at funny videos, and sometimes says, "Don't touch your nose, I'm busy." Have you ever thought that your brain can surprise itself? Sometimes it dreams up stories you don't remember in the morning. The brain is like a prankster that loves little jokes. Scientists discovered that the brain stays active even while you sleep. It can solve problems, remember favorite songs, and invent unexpected jokes. Imagine if your brain could step out and share them with friends. And just imagine if the brain had buttons on your head. One press recalls a funny childhood moment, another solves a tricky problem instantly. Amazing, right? Don't forget to subscribe and give a like.
Subscribe!